Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Serra from IDEA company based in France, and I'm responsible of sales engineering around all IDEA product suites, especially the Diagnostic Manager and the Compliance Manager products that we're going to focus today. Can you hear me?
By the way, yeah, we hear you very well. By the way,
Thank you.
guys, if you have any, I'll go to Hebrew. אם יש לכם שאלות תוך כדי, תרגישו בנוח לרשום את זה בצ'אט, ואנחנו ניתן לכם תשובות. נמצא בקו בנוסף גם אנדי, שהוא ה-Sales Specialist על ישראל. אנחנו נתרגם לו את זה, וניתן תשובות. Yes, Eric, go ahead, please.
Right, thank you very much. So welcome to everyone. Today, let's start our webinar with a slideshow where I'm going to present the architecture of both product, but also the main features before jumping on a live demo. So today we're going to be talking about two products, as I said, SQL Diagnostic Manager, which is the first and the main product in the performance and monitoring category. And then we will be focusing on the second product, which is SQL Compliance Manager, belonging to the second great category, which is security and compliance. But as you can see, there are also other products in all the three categories, and especially also around the third one, which is backup and administration. And our main product is Safe Backup. But today we're going to be focusing on the SQL DM and Compliance Manager again. So let's start with Diagnostic Manager. That is a performance monitoring solution running 24 hours, 7 days in production to be able to alert you proactively as soon as there is something bad in terms of performance on your SQL servers. I mean, it can be slowdown, degradation, it can be deviation compared to baseline, it can be a bottleneck and even an unavailability of your SQL servers. It can be someone complaining on the hotline of your company because he's stuck. So that kind of product is monitoring your SQL server 24 hours, 7 days. And the goal of this product is to alert you proactively, meaning that you will receive an alert, for example, by email or even an SMTP trap on your hypervisor to be getting alerted before the end users to be impacted on your production. So that is really the goal of that product. And we monitor your SQL servers with a remote agent. It means that you don't need to deploy agents locally on your production machines where the SQL servers are running. But instead of that, we install the agent on another box, another Windows box, where our engine, our product is deployed and running 24 hours, 7 days. And we do save on the fly all the metrics coming from your SQL servers in our repository. So this is the historical repository. And the goal of that, of course, is not only looking at the real time, but also into the past. I mean, maybe you lost or you were not at your desk when an incident came up in your production 2 hours a day, 2 hours back, or maybe 2 days ago. You need to come back into the past to analyze, to deep dive, to troubleshoot why that occurred. So this is the goal of our repository. By default, we keep data up to 1 year, but everything is modifiable. You can keep up to many years or many weeks or months maximum if needed, as you want. The agent is collecting remotely more than 100 different metrics coming from your SQL servers, but also from Windows operating system, I mean, through a WMI or OLI counters. And the goal, of course, is to have the visibility of the SQL Server's performance metrics, but also the resources metrics like CPU consumption, memory usage, disk, network, and so on. So the goal again is to have the deep visibility about who is doing what in real time and why there is a bottleneck, or what component is the culprit of that bottleneck. And of course, in the product, we have the alerting model, which is capable to alert you on a real time proactively, but also to send you an email. So there are plenty of different actions that you can set. The most common one is, of course, the email, but there are plenty of others like that we will see during the live demo. And we do this collection of metrics, and especially the Windows metrics, on virtual and physical machines for sure. So it means that we are not only looking at the virtual resources, but we also have the possibility of looking at the Hyper-V metrics, and especially the ES6 server, the physical host. The goal of that double vision is to give you very deep visibility between the virtual resources and the physical resources. And if a VM is missing some resources, you can then understand if you get enough physical resources to allocate more to that special VM. So let's jump to the architecture of that product. So again, on the right side, these are the SQL servers, your SQL servers that can be on-premise or in the cloud. We support the Amazon RDS, EC2, and Microsoft Azure environments. So we don't deploy any agent on these environments again, but instead of that, we deploy the agent remotely on the same machine than our products. So on that machine, there is a Windows service, which is a collection service, the agent dedicated to grab the metrics remotely through WMI and SQL Server with the standard SQL Server port that you are using. And then another Windows service, which is a management service, is saving on the fly all these hundreds and hundreds of metrics into our historical repository. And again, as I said, it is by default 365 days, but retention, but you can modify these numbers. We do support the standard developer and enterprise editions for that repository. And we don't need a SQL Server instance, I mean a dedicated instance for our product. We can reuse an existing one, which is maybe existing for other products, technical products, I would say. And we just create a new database in that instance for that product. And lastly, on the left side, you get the console of the products, which are of two types, the fat and the thin. So the fat client, which is based on the .NET technology, is made for DBA, for experts, for deep dive analysis, troubleshooting, well, everything that is mandatory for resolving an issue, performance issue. But there is another one, a thin client, which is based on the HTML5 technology. So meaning that you can use any kind of web browsers on the market. And that's clients, thin client is more dedicated to operation team, support level 1 that don't need to deep dive, but just have to, to understand the reason of that incident, of that performance issue before giving the hand to the right person, or also to the high-level manager that just want to see a high-level picture of the global health of their SQL servers in production. Yes, what about the actions? As I said, the main one is email, but you can also execute the PowerShell script. You can execute a SQL Server script, a SQL jobs, even a batch, or integrate to your ServiceNow incidents ticketing software. So there are plenty of different choices. And lastly, the reporting model. Yes, including in the product, we offer dozens and dozens of predefined reports that you can generate on demand, manually, or you can schedule in the reporting services of Microsoft just for that report to be automatically generated and sent to the right person in your company. Well, these are some screenshots of the different support like PC, tablets, or smartphone. Just the goal of that slide is to show you that there is no difference in the UI, in the look and feel of the UI, even if it's a web UI or a fat UI. And that is the fat client, the .NET clients. Well, we're going to see that during the live demo, but just to be aware, there are 4 main workspaces, servers, where we can see and all the metrics and deep dive troubleshooting analysis. Then the reports workspace dedicated to the reporting model, alerts dedicated to alerting model, and administration, of course, for everything regarding the product itself. I mean, that can be the logins, for example, who can use the fat client and the thin client and so on. Yes, that is very interesting. By default, you get the views, the standard views, as we can see, all servers, critical, warning, okay, and maintenance mode. But if needed, you can create your views, your custom views that can be useful if you get a lot of SQL servers monitored by the product. Then, I mean, more than 20, 50, hundreds, and so on. Then you can create your views, for example, to have the production view or UAT, or even a business application view like SAP view and so on. And you will be putting a lot of servers in the same view just to group together them. The tags are a bit like that, but we can reuse the tags through other components like reports. We can select a tag for a report, meaning that you can have several SQL servers in a report due to the tag. And there are also other tips and tricks with the tag that we're going to see during the live demo. Configurable dashboard. You can customize that main dashboard for your daily job. By default, there are 2 columns and 3 lines, but if needed, you can change the layout, or you can even create your custom dashboard if you want to, put your metrics, your graph on that main dashboard. Not 100% of the predefined dashboards are customizable, but some of them that can be useful too. Yes, physical and virtual, I did speak about that already. And that is, yes, an interesting graph around the query weights, because everybody knows that, well, mainly the performance issues on the statement can come from the weights. And that's always very interesting to see what is the longest weight, where does it come from, write low, preemptive, and so on. That screenshot is about the sessions activity. That is very important in case of someone is complaining on your hotline. You go directly to the current sessions visibility, and then you get the 2 tabs like blocks and blocking. Very important if you want to see who is blocking who and with which statements, which commands. So we can see the last command of the blocking process details 114 session ID that is blocking the 115, and we get to see the both commands for executed by both sessions. So that is another topic that we will cover during the live demo for sure. And lastly, we didn't speak about the prescriptive analysis yet, but that is one of the greatest feature of SQL Diagnostic Manager product, because when you are a DBA, you did everything that you had to do to improve globally the performance of your SQL Server. You don't know what to do more. You don't have any more actions to do. And you did your SQL optimization also on the main critical statements, queries. But if you don't know what to do more, it's always good to run that prescriptive analysis, clicking on the run button there. And automatically, after some minutes, it can take some minutes for sure, the product will give you a lot of recommendations. One line is one recommendation. So you can see there are plenty of recommendations. And for each of them, you will see the details at the bottom of the screen. You will see also some lines like optimize now, what to do to optimize that particular statement. So that can be very useful, again, when you are completely stuck, you don't know what to do more. And even some of them are not important, but like that one, you know, the integrity of database has not been checked since 255 days. So maybe you are aware about that. You know, you don't want to execute the DBCC command line, but it's always a good information to give you. And same thing for the backups. For example, backups for database on the same volume as the data file. So that can be not very good in terms of security. If the disk is crashing, then you will lose all the files, the main one and the backup files too. All right, so that is again the prescriptive analysis that is, for me, one of the greatest feature of the product. So now we finished with the slideshow. Let's jump into the fat clients.